I now invite the distinguished Prime Minister of the Republic of Turkey, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan, to take the floor.
Mr. President, distinguished delegates, it gives me distinct pleasure to be here today, and let me, at the outset of my remarks, extend my sincere thanks to President Obama for his initiative to convene this UN Security Council summit focusing on nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation, as well as nuclear safety and security. The summit gives us an opportunity to discuss these issues which require global attention and attention at the highest level. And these factors make this meeting very pertinent and timely. We have a common responsibility vis-à-vis humanity on these subjects. Mr. President, 40 years ago, when the threat of nuclear destruction was hovering over the fortunes of mankind in greater magnitude than today, leaders of the world were united to come up with the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which was indisputably one of the most important treaties of the 20th century. This treaty is very important because it reflects mankind's universal and fundamental desire for peace and security. And today, it remains as relevant and indispensable as it was 40 years ago, with its three mutually reinforcing pillars: non-proliferation, nuclear disarmament, general and complete disarmament, and peaceful use of nuclear energy. Over the years, much has been achieved along these lines. However, there is still the need to bolster the integrity and credibility of the NPT regime. Therefore, I believe that today's meeting is going to be an important opportunity to demonstrate our readiness to achieve these goals and demonstrate a strong global ownership. And I believe that it will re-energize the international community and lead to new initiatives towards the NPT review conference next year. Mr. President, there is a need for an incremental and sustained approach with respect to nuclear disarmament. In this regard, the unequivocal undertaking by all 5 nuclear states to accomplish the total elimination of their nuclear arsenals is therefore one of the big achievements of NPT. This responsibility now must be upheld, building on Article 6 of the treaty and the 13 practical steps for nuclear disarmament agreed upon in the year 2000. It is in this context that we welcome and encourage the efforts to replace the START with a new legally binding instrument. Irreversible progress on nuclear disarmament will also reinforce the other 2 pillars of the NPT. In particular, it is important that nuclear non-proliferation should go hand in hand with nuclear disarmament efforts, and this should include interforce of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, initiation of negotiations for a fissile material cutoff treaty in the Conference on Disarmament, and promoting IAEA's role as the sole multilateral body in advancing safe and peaceful use of nuclear technology. Turkey believes that, on the other hand, states in full compliance with their safeguard obligations should enjoy unfettered access to civilian nuclear energy as enshrined in the NPT. We believe that having weapons of mass destruction in this day and age is not going to bring additional safety or security to any country. To the contrary, they are endanger peace and stability. It is for that reason that Turkey believes that it is very important to have nuclear-free zones, especially and starting with the Middle East, and we continue to support such activities in all areas, particularly in the Middle East. It is also very important that safety of nuclear resources remains to be a priority issue for the international community. There is no doubt that confidence in nuclear sources will continue to be very important. On the other hand, nuclear terrorism and illicit trafficking in nuclear material poses a grave security threat that needs to be addressed with a global commitment. Within this framework, we should work on a comprehensive and mutually reinforcing approach with the utilization of available UN and IAEA conventions as well as applicable multilateral instruments. The UN Security Council Resolution 1540 and its effective implementation is thus of great importance. Mr. President, I would like to take this opportunity to say that we support the resolution which we have voted on against this background. Thank you.
I thank His Excellency Prime Minister Erdogan for his statement.